Well, I really put my foot in it this time. Well, for a first video on YouTube, you know what they say, go big or go home. Really gonna go big. I am your host, Christopher. This is gonna be one of my first misguided projects, is my grandparents' farm. My grandpa used to farm here. Oh, he quit in 2014, I think he retired. They moved down to my great-grandma's down in the Minnesota River Valley. And my aunt and her husband were buying the place. And, well, you can see the end result. They didn't buy the place. I am now in the process of trying to buy the place. And I think it'll make a pretty nice home when I'm done. I got a nice heated shop, a barn that's about a stone's throw away from becoming a really nice bonfire, and all kinds of cool equipment. I mean, like here's an old WD Alice that my uncle stole the front end off of and left the rest of the tractor in the yard, because you know that's what you do. An old school bus, that's going to scrap. Same with the old camper. They stole all kinds of parts off of it before they just abandoned it and shot it full of holes. So we got a lot of cleanup to do, but I think it'll all be worth it in the end. Some of the stuff here's my grandpa's from when he still farmed. There's an old 76 Ford grain truck. That was his sprayer truck. I don't know if you can see it real well because of the sun. They shot that full of holes, took out one of the windows and put a couple holes in the front fender. All the tires are flat. Don't know if that's from bullets or if they just went flat. This is an old grain truck. But I think a little bit of fixing up and it'll make a decent little truck around the yard. Kind of take you on a little bit of a tour today. I got the house already cleaned out. I did that before I started taking video because it was just a mess and it needed to be done so I can move in. But right now it's kind of just getting it ready. I haven't technically purchased it yet. So I'm at this point right now, I'm still going through the phases of getting a loan and all that, but I'm pretty dang close. I've got, basically I just now have to fix the heating to the house because, you know, meth heads, they love copper. So the copper lines going up from the ground to the tank are gone. Same with, thankfully not the house. The house and the regulator are still there, but I have to have the co-op come out and redo the lines going from the ground up to the tank. Hopefully they don't have to redo it all the way to the house because that's going to be expensive. So I'll continue taking you around here. First building we're going in is a heated shop. So if this is any indication, that's all the stuff I cleaned out of the house. If this is any indication on just how well they took care of their things, you can just about imagine how the rest of the place looked. So this is heated with LP, 24 by 40. Should be big enough for me to get my combine in. That's another misguided project that'll be coming up eventually. I bought a 4420 John Deere combine with headers from my work that needs a lot of work, but it's nicely spray foamed. There's still some workbenches in here. I think we got a pool table, but I think it's got a good, I got a place for it right on a bonfire, I think, right with the barn. But this is the shop. Next, we'll probably go up and I'll show you the house. Some of the buildings aren't good anymore. Like the barns, they're both too dangerous to walk around in, but nice bifold door that needs some work because they burnt the motor out of it. But it'll work eventually. Do a little overview of the outbuilding. So this was the granary. This one I think I could put a new roof on and use it for storage, but I'll show you kind of quick here since we're here that the roof is a little worse for wear. I would say that is not good anymore. This would be the main barn. It was a dairy barn when my grandpa bought the place back in roughly the mid to late 70s. He converted it over to use it and had hogs in there. Now it's pretty close to coming down, like I mentioned earlier. It's not safe to go in. I won't be going in there. My cousin's Trans Am, not Trans Am, Camaro, that unfortunately meth head stole parts off of. Who steals an OBD2 port? Like, what are you going to do with that? There are some grain bins on the property. So I've got grain storage when I get to the point of farming, which is the end goal. I just need to figure out where all the doors went. Oh, there's something laying in there. I don't know, I'll look at that later. So these are the hog barns. There's a little open-faced lean-to there with some concrete we've used for storage. Then there's a little kind of a walkway that comes up into what would have been the farrowing barn where we had pigs. There's a pit under this barn. This was kind of this front section was where most of the hogs were. And you can't really see back in there, but in the back was the nursery. That's all collapsed. I don't know if my uncle did it or who did it, but somebody tore a big giant hole in the side of this building. I don't know why. There's really no reason to have done it, but they did it. Because, it made sense. That, I believe, is also part of the nursery. And then this back here was the yard where they had, this used to be penned in, and he'd let hogs out here to run around in. Mind you, this was a long time ago. Nowadays, I don't think they even do that with pigs anymore. The less they're outside, the better. Got me a cattle trailer, though, that doesn't look terrible. Thankfully, the barn's falling away from it, so it won't land on it. A greenhouse, which I don't know what the heck they were growing in there. That's been there since before weed was legal, but I found out he was growing weed in the basement. So, I don't know what could have been growing in there. Probably nothing good. Got some apple trees, though. Feller can have a snack when that time of the year comes around. Now I think probably next time I'll see it, we'll be in the house. This is the house. From what I've been told, it was built back in 36. And my grandpa purchased this, like I said earlier, probably sometime in the mid to late 70s. There used to be a really nice porch off the front of here. They decided that wasn't what they wanted. So they tore the porch out, which is laying down back there somewhere behind the shed. And they got wood from somebody else's deck that they were taking down. And decided to start building their own deck. I think, the framework is all good. This I might just have to leave for now simply because I don't got the money to build a deck right now. Because this place, just cleaning it up and making it livable again is going to be expensive. But I think that'll be another project down the road. Thankfully, all the windows look to be in the house other than one or two that are broken. But thankfully, it's just the little ones like that one. So now I'll take you inside. And I can show you what the inside of the house looks like. Now that I have it cleaned out, mind you, this is not how they left it. Well, this is the back porch. Nice washer and dryer that they left. I don't know if those they left or if they were my grandpa and grandma's before they moved. Good sized chest freezer. Busted up gun cabinet. Some storage. Not too bad. Then we come up. There's the stairs to go upstairs where the bedrooms are. This is the kitchen. We got it pretty well cleaned up now. So you can actually get around in here. This was all, I'll splice some pictures in here of these rooms as I'm going through them. Of if I had pictures of what they looked like before. Now we've got the living room. And a slot machine, because classy people have slot machines in their living rooms. And then back here, this is the dining room. I'll be tearing this carpet out of here just because it's pretty grody. Doesn't look too bad in the photos, but believe me, it's bad. This will be hardwood. I'm going to probably put new carpet in here in the living room. It's just tongue and groove. There's some plumbing I have to fix in the wall over there that their furnace acted up and they never got anybody out here to fix it in time. And a pipe in that wall broke. So we'll have to get that fixed. Now we're going to go upstairs. Oh yeah, the railing. That was in the living room behind the couch. We were hoping it was still here. So as we go up the stairs. Still cleaning a little bit up here. This is the master bedroom. Kind of not too bad. There's some decent furniture in here. Mattresses are getting gotten rid of, and carpeting. This would have been my grandma and grandpa's room. And then we come over here. And this was my dad's room. It's all full of stuff. Pretty much every other room in the house looked like this when I got started. Now we come over here. This would have been my two aunts' room. My Aunt Dawn and Aunt Mindy. This is where they lived when they were little. And then this was my grandma's sewing room. They added this onto the house after my dad had moved out when he was in the Air Force. When I get this cleaned up, this will end up becoming my office. And those pipes I broke come up into this bathroom. So, again, this is not what it's going to look like when I'm done. She went and painted a mural on here, which she's a pretty good artist. She just hasn't made some good life decisions. So, that's kind of the tour of the house. I don't really know much else to show you guys right now until we actually get some work done. I'm down here today because I came down to have the LP tank filled so we can heat the place, so I can turn the water back on, so that we can figure out where the pipe is leaking in that wall. But for now, that's kind of it. I gotta wait till the co-op comes out. They have to fix the lines going up to the LP tank because, you know, the meth heads, they cut them off and took them in for scrap. So right now there's no lines running either to the shop or the house. So both of those will have to get fixed. But then once that's fixed, we can heat the house so I can fix the plumbing. And realistically, the plumbing is the only thing that needs to be fixed. The rest, well, there's a lot more, but I mean to make this house livable. Once those pipes are fixed, my grandpa went and winterized the house when they got kicked out. And so, fingers crossed, the rest of the house is still in good shape as far as plumbing goes. But I got to fix those two lines so we're not dumping water everywhere. And then hopefully by March or April, I'll be able to move in. So I just kind of wanted to take a tour since I had to come down here anyway, only to find out that I didn't need to be down here because they needed me down here to pressure check the lines once they filled the tank, since the lines were run empty. The law requires that they do that to make sure that it's a safety thing. So I gotta wait for them when they come out and fix the lines. They'll pressure test it at that point, and then that'll tell me what we need to do if they got to rip all the lines out going from the tank up to the house and redo it all. I really hope they don't, because that's going to be expensive. But once the house is, I'm going to have a lot of fixing to do, but I think it's going to look a lot better than it did than it does now. Because right now it is an absolute disaster, and I don't know how anybody could live like this. But thank you for tuning into my first video. I know I just shot this on my phone. I don't have no fancy camera equipment or anything like that, but nowadays phones don't do half bad job. So I figured I'll give it a shot and see how it goes. But by the time you see this, hopefully I'll be moved in here. Probably not. I'm probably going to be bored and edit this tonight when I get home. So thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video.